8 early warning signs of an abusive relationship. Number 1. The relationship is moving very fast. The most difficult warning sign to accept is how fast things progress. Like, he wants to see you every night. He wants to move in after a month. The abusive partner may claim you're perfect for each other, that it's love at first sight, that you're soulmates, and other romantic and idealistic sounding things. Unfortunately, the desirability of this behavior gives controlling partners the best opportunity to gain total control over their partner's schedule and life. Number 2. Unrealistic expectations and shoulds. As things progress and become more serious, we see new signs developing. One is finding that your partner has unrealistic expectations and commonly tells you what you should and shouldn't be doing. Comments about how you should or shouldn't cut your hair, whom you should see, what job you should take, how you should act, and how you should behave are indications that your partner believes that he knows more than you about yourself and your life. This attitude will increase until you no longer know who you are. If you're not living up to the expectations, the world is ending. After all, you're his whole world. They want the Disney relationship with the stereotypical gender roles, like he should provide. And if his job isn't going well, then it's a problem, and she should keep the house. And if dinner isn't on the table, it's another problem. Number 3. Excessive gifts and love bombing. This can take many forms, such as excessive texting and telephone calls. He might overwhelm you with constant flattery, and at first you will not perceive this as a bombardment. You will initially be flattered that he's paying so much attention to you. He will leave you small love notes and send you sweet texts. It's like something from a movie, and that's because it is like that. It's more fiction than it is reality. Other big warning signs include lavishing a partner with gifts, especially when that partner is uncomfortable with all those showings. This creates a foundation where any complaint by the new partner brings accusations of ungratefulness and greediness. After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me? Number 4. Hypersensitivity and jealousy. This refers to the abusive partner overreacting to little things, to little comments or jokes or small issues. Abusers often have low self-esteem and take everything personally. They may be easily insulted or claim that the world is against them if they meet the slightest setback. If you disagree with anyone or anything, no matter how trivial, you'll be insulting them to their core and calling them a terrible person who can't do anything right. This often shows itself in a set of rules that have clear double standards. If she glances at another man, that means she doesn't find her partner attractive anymore and she's cheating on him. But if she comments on him blatantly checking out another woman, she's calling him a pervert and accusing him of terrible things that he would never do. Number 5. Criticism and superiority. Abusive people criticize anyone and anything at any time, even when they know nothing about what they're criticizing. They tell you how much better they could do something. And warning, this can look like confidence at first, but with an abuser, it can turn into egomania and even abrasive arrogance. Happy people do not need to belittle others. They feel that everyone is equal and that there is enough room in the world for everyone to be great. On the other hand, abusers want the world and everyone around them to be perfect, but their minds are a complete mess. They can't make sense of their stuff, so they focus their fixing energy on others. They want to talk about what everyone else is doing wrong. Number 6. Blamers. Blame is placing the entire responsibility for one's unpleasant actions, consequences, and feelings on another person or external event and insisting that others agree. A blamer refuses to admit that they have ever done anything wrong. They will always consider themselves a victim, and no matter what happens, if something goes wrong, it's always someone else's fault. So, they will never apologize for anything because they consider themselves blameless. An early warning sign that you're dealing with a blamer is when they are talking about work, career, or education, and past relationships. The blamer will always take credit when things are going well, and will always blame someone around them when things are going bad. Blaming others for their failures makes them feel better about themselves and their failures. So, blamers will do everything in their power to make their failures seem like someone else's fault, and eventually, his failures will be your fault, and he'll try to make you feel guilty for the things over which you have no control over. If you know a blamer, then this probably sounds pretty familiar to you. Number 7. Imposed isolation. Imposed isolation begins with your partner criticizing, questioning, and making unwelcome your closest friends and social network. Abusers will try to make you feel guilty for wanting to spend time with friends and family. For example, a woman might avoid an evening out with her friends because she knows her partner is jealous and afraid of his reaction afterwards. Now, he may mask his behavior and try to flip the conversation towards questioning your motives for wanting to go out. Number 8. Mean or abusive towards others. Warning signs are often obvious in how the abuser treats everyone else. The waiter brings the wrong wine and it turns into a scene where the manager is called. Someone bumps into him in the street and he yells obscenities even though he's not hurt in the slightest. Or he'll make critical comments about every other person in the room, not caring about who's hearing him. Abusers have short tempers and work hard to hide them from their partners. Pay attention to the way they treat strangers. You'll be surprised at what you might observe.